What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we are talking about the latest from Holo Taco. We've got the Fire and Ice collection. But before we get into that, if you haven't heard of Holo Taco before, they are a nail polish brand created by YouTuber Christine of Simply Nailogical, and all of their polishes are 5 free, meaning they're free of 5 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So they just recently released their Fire and Ice bundle, which is 5 brand new nail polishes, 2 of which are creams and then 3 are iridescent shimmers. So it's basically a continuation of their winter shimmers collection from a couple years back, which I really loved because I'm a big fan of toppers. Now I do want to make a quick note, this was just a regular release from them. It wasn't a full collection release that comes with the limited edition box, but we still have some exciting new polishes to go over. So I'm going to show you the swatches first. I'm going to show you the toppers over each color, and then we can talk a little bit more about pricing, availability, my thoughts on the collection, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. Now I always wear a base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains, so today I'm using the Orly Bonder base coat. So we'll start off with the cream finishes. This first one is called Cold Slate, and as you can see, this is the cooler tone of the Fire and Ice, and this one is a really gorgeous, honestly I would call it a slate blue. It sits somewhere between being a blue and being a gray, so we get this really gorgeous in between kind of color, and the opacity was really impressive. It was actually almost a 1 coater, but I ended up getting full coverage in 2, and it was really smooth and creamy. I love the wide flat brush for their cream finishes because it just makes application so much smoother. And then we have the other cream in the collection. This one is called Hot Take, which is clearly the fire portion of the Fire and Ice, and this one is a really vibrant, almost orange toned red cream, and this one again very impressive coverage. Pretty much got full coverage on the first coat. It did cover up my visible nail line, but I did end up doing a second coat just to get that full coverage, and this is such a gorgeous summer red. It feels like such a classic shade, but that brightness and that slight orange tone just makes it feel, I don't know, like summer cherry kind of vibe. So another very great one, really smooth formula. So now let's get into these iridescent shimmer toppers. So iridescent polishes, if you're not familiar with them, basically they are these sort of sheer shimmers that you can put over different colors, and they kind of transform the color underneath, and they have a little bit of a shifty property where they look different over different colors. So over light colors it's going to look one way, and over darker colors it's going to look another way. And this one, Scorched Earth, is primarily a red to copper sort of shimmer, but when you're wearing it over lighter colors or on its own, you almost see a little bit of this like green blue color coming through. So I'm going to show you each one over the 2 colors that are the creams of the collection, and then I'm also going to show you over black because I think the easiest way to see an iridescent topper in its true form is over black because that's where it transforms the most. But yeah, this one you can definitely see that vibrant color coming through. Over red you actually see a lot more of a golden color, which I thought was really interesting, and this is definitely a fiery manicure together. But over black, again, you can see the most transformative color shift, and you can really see what this shade looks like over deeper finishes. So you definitely get that really strong reddish copper vibe. You still get a little bit of that golden yellow color coming through, but for the most part this is a fiery hot iridescent. Next up we have the shade Halogen Glow, and this one is actually fairly similar to Scorched Earth over most colors, but this one has a little bit different of an iridescent color scheme here. So mostly head on I'm seeing pink into gold into even a little bit of a green tone, but then over lighter colors and on its own you definitely see a little bit more of that bluish tone. So I thought this one was really interesting over Cold Slate because it almost had a little bit of a silvery glow because the blue underneath it almost negates the color of the blue of the lighter iridescence, if that makes any sense to anybody. But I still saw some of that pink into green coloring, and then over the red shade again we really get the strong golden sort of emphasis. I think that red base really pulls out that yellow glow, and it almost makes everything look fiery. So I thought that was really interesting. But again, the best difference that you can see with these colors is over black. So over black you can definitely see that strong pinky tone, you can see that golden color shifting into green, and it almost looks a little bit duochromatic just looking at it head on, where you can see both the pink and the green. So it's a really fun one. And then the final iridescent shade is this one, Freezer Burn, and and this one is the most different out of the three. It has a very distinct, vibrant color, so looking at it head on, the shimmer definitely looks like this deep, intense blue, but then over lighter colors and on its own, there's a little bit of a yellow tone, so you can actually see where the light is not hitting my naked nail. It has a little bit of a yellowy tone, but over any darker color, it's definitely going to show a strong blue. So even over the blue, you can see when the light hits it, it's got that intense blueness to it. In the less lit up areas of my nail, you can see a little bit of that yellowy undertone. And then I was really curious to see what this would look like over red, just because I've never paired these two kinds of colors together, and I actually thought it was really cool. It definitely combines that fire and ice kind of vibe. We get the fire of that red base color, and then we get the iciness of that blue intense iridescent shimmer, and it actually almost combines together to make it look a little bit more purpley, which I thought was interesting and really cool. But again, wanted to show you what it looked like over black, and that's where you can really see the intensity of that blue color. It's really gorgeous. Honestly, over black, this one is so monochromatic that it almost looks like this intense blue shimmer. Like, I feel like this looks like its own color, just this blackened base with a blue shimmer on it. So I think this is really gorgeous, definitely giving me wintry vibes. So if you've watched some of my previous Holo Taco reviews, you know I love to combine their toppers. So I thought I would do all three of the iridescent toppers over black. So this first look is Scorched Earth with Halogen Glow. So they actually suit each other together really nicely, and they look very pretty, and I think they blend well together because the colors are fairly similar. And then when I popped Freezer Burn over it, it almost combined all of the colors and made it look a little silvery, but I thought that was really cool. It's just fun to experiment and kind of see what works with each other. I love layering toppers. I think it's so fun. So obviously when I'm showing you one nail at a time, it can kind of get a little bit confusing to see which colors look more similar to each other. So here's a comparison chart of all three of the toppers over all three of the base colors that I used. So the first column is what each one looks like on its own, second column is over blue, third column is over red, and then the final column is over black, which is where you can really see the height of the differences there. I will say Scorched Earth and Halogen Glow do look fairly similar over the red and the blue, but you can really see their differences over the black, and they really do complement each other nicely. So it is kind of fun to combine those two together. And then of course we have Freezer Burn, which has that really gorgeous blue glow that just looks honestly a little bit unreal. So I love that one as well. So those are the polishes, and I have to say it was really reminiscent of Holo Taco's original type of collections that they came out with this heavy focus on toppers and then bringing in some creams that would kind of go well with those toppers. So I really love that. I loved the experimental aspect of Holo Taco when it first came out, especially with the fun with combining toppers. Although I will say I do enjoy the direction that they've been going in a little bit more lately, where they're kind of exploring more unique finishes and color schemes. So definitely curious to see what they come up with next. But yeah, getting into pricing and availability, these polishes come in 12 milliliter bottles, and the brush actually varies based on which finish you get. So the cream finishes have a wide flat brush that has a rounded tip, and then the three toppers actually come with their skinny round brush. So as of right now, Holo Taco is pretty much exclusively doing the wide flat brush for their cream finishes, and the pricing also varies based on the finish of the polish. The cream formulas retail for $12 USD, and the iridescent toppers retail for $13 USD, and they are exclusively available on the Holo Taco website, so I'll link it down below. You can check them out if you are interested. But yeah, I'm curious to hear what you think. What do you think of this collection? What do you think of the toppers? And what do you think Holo Taco is going to come out with next? Definitely let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I also have a second YouTube channel, my vlog channel, which is just a little bit more about my daily life. And I've got some exciting stuff going on right now, so check that out if you're interested. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my royal astronomer Amanda M, as well as my cosmic admirals Rocket Man's daughter, Paula, Ken, Rosie, and Courtney. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question is going to be about waking up because I'm curious. I want to know when you guys generally wake up. And for me, I feel like the answer may be a little bit surprising. I'm not sure. But I generally wake up around 6 a.m. on the weekdays and 7 a.m. on the weekends, which I feel like makes me sound like I'm like a very early riser, go-getter kind of person, but I actually have a pretty lazy reason why I wake up at 6 a.m. And that is because about a year ago, my partner and I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, and there is a 3-hour time difference. And when we moved, we just kept East Coast time instead of switching to Pacific time. Obviously, our clocks and stuff are Pacific time, but we generally eat our meals, wake up, go to sleep on East Coast time. So yeah, it actually does feel like we're sleeping in a little bit that we wake up at 6 a.m. But I am curious to hear when people wake up, especially if any of you are night shift people. I'm curious to know what your sleep schedule is because I feel like everybody I know who is an overnight worker, I am so confused about the sleep times. But maybe the people I know just don't sleep enough. So let me know in the comments what time you wake up, and also let me know, do you work a traditional office type of job or do you do something else? Because I think that also has a huge impact on when your sleep schedule is. But yeah, I'm curious to know. So we'll talk about it in the comments and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.